Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. And we are back here with Lavender Lane for sure, aren't we? Just making sure. Christine Gosse joining us, Nancy Bruce. Christine, you're a registered physiotherapist, Reiki master, and so much more. So it's Lavender Lane Wellness Center. I want to point that out. And you're based is it Ontario?
Yes, in Waterloo, Ontario.
Beautiful. Please introduce yourself and Nancy to our listeners and our viewers today.
So I'm a physiotherapist and the founder of Lavender Lane. We founded the Wellness Center to bring holistic and healthcare together and to treat the whole person, mind, body, and spirit. And we're able to do that in person in Waterloo, Ontario, and virtually through our Jane app, which is a secure video call.
Oh my goodness. Welcome. And Nancy?
Okay, I am an EFT practitioner. And EFT is tapping or emotional freedom technique, releasing beliefs and emotions from the subconscious. And I focus very specifically on subconscious weight loss blockers.
Wow. So you all working with the mind, the body, the soul, and helping people in so many different ways. Would you mind, I guess, starting off with talking a little bit about, you have certain practitioners who specialize in certain areas. Could you talk about that a little more specifically about the services you offer?
Sure. In person, we have physiotherapy, chiropractic, massage therapy, manual osteopathy, and virtually we have Reiki, emotional freedom technique, our life coaches who focus on weight loss and really any anxiety, depression, moving from diagnosis to wellness. And you can use it for just about anything. It's amazing. We have oracle card readings, intuitive channeling, energy healers, you name it, we've got it.
Wonderful. And I know I'm on the website, lavenderlaneptw.ca. So it's really an integrative process. We're talking about overall wellness for the body, mind, and soul. And you say self-care is essential. How many times do you see people ignoring themselves? I'm a mom of 2, 5 and 7-year-olds, 2 little boys. I mean, I put myself last. That's not good for anyone.
That happens all the time. And it's been such an issue that's come up now because of the pandemic. People have kind of come and gone, whoa, I have to stop this and really start working on my wellness.
Got it. And clearly, once again, you're able here to work with people all around the world. Where did you want to start specifically today? I know we have a lot of notes here and we have Nancy. So you tell me, it's your show, sweetheart. Where did you want to start and begin?
Well, I think if Nancy would like to talk about her program, and how it looks at cravings and emotional eating, that'd be fantastic because it's such a huge issue.
Great, please.
Yeah, so I like to deal with what I call subconscious weight loss blockers. And I want to go through and list a couple of them that, that I'm aware of. I think the biggest thing for people to recognize is the difference between a craving and emotional eating. We tend to just clump that together. And by the look on your face, Jill, it kind of looks like you're going like, what is the difference, right?
I know I'm an emotional eater myself. So I'm with you for a second here. I am, because I know me and my potato chips. Go ahead.
A lot of people are, and they don't know where to go from there. It's like, oh yeah, I'm an emotional eater. But they're like, but I don't know where to go from here.
True.
So it's that acknowledgement, which is great. So first of all, a craving is going to be a very specific food. And it is going to be the emotion is actually going to be, I want to feel. So you're going towards a feeling when it's a craving. So a craving is going to make you feel joy. It's going to make you feel love or connection or something like that, right?
Okay.
Whereas emotional eating is actually going to be eating when you're avoiding feeling
something. Got it. Okay, that makes
sense. Going away from a feeling. So you're angry, you're frustrated, you're sad. You're going to go towards, that's going to be emotional eating.
Okay.
That does not mean that you will not eat your craving when it's emotional
During that
eating,
emotional eating period, in a sense. Okay, got it. Making sense.
because you're confused and you're going, I don't want to feel this way, maybe I want to feel this way. But there is a distinct difference, especially in the techniques that I use. Okay. Then another weight loss blocker is, as women, we hide, and we're actually kind of afraid to feel really good about ourselves because we don't want to make other people feel bad.
Yeah.
So a lot of women hold on to their weight because it's like, well, if I lose my weight, I'm going to make this person feel bad and I'm going to make that person feel bad. It's all subconscious, but you're afraid to let that weight go because you would be the reason why the relationship isn't working. Again, it's all that subconscious stuff, right? Then there's also, we feel like we have to finish our plates. A lot of people grew up where their parents put the food on the plate and they weren't allowed to leave the table until they finished the plate.
Yeah.
And because there was starving people in the world, there was, this was your parents' way of loving you is, well, yeah, I'm feeding you, so you're going to eat this.
Yeah.
So there's afraid of, I can't reject this food from my mom, or I can't reject this food from my grandma because that's their love. So you feel like you have to eat it. So that's programmed into us. And our brain is making these decisions like this about making those connections to food or about what I have to do. Like it's a very, very quick thing. Another one is authority figure, that you can't make me do something. So oftentimes we don't have a voice. As kids growing up, we weren't allowed to basically have conversations. It was, you do as I say. And I'm talking, the older generations, like our 50s and stuff like that. That still happens today. So what the child will do is they'll eat because they can't express their emotions. They can't express their feelings. So every time they're self-sabotaging, they're just like, ho, ho, ho. They're eating down their feelings. And basically they're saying, screw you to their authority figure. Well, you can't take my food away. This is the only thing you can't take away from me. I don't have a voice, but you can't take this away from me, right? Another one is sometimes women are just uncomfortable with being, and I put this in quote, sexy, because if they're at their ideal weight, they feel really good about themselves. They don't want the extra attention. They don't want the extra attention from other men catcalling them, or sadly, even their partners, because as we get busier in life, it kind of feels like one more thing. And that's not true for everyone. That's just, it does happen. There can also be, sexual abuse right up to rape that will make you actually keep that shield on you because it doesn't feel comfortable to be in your body, kind of thing. And that's very extreme, but it is true. And if there is something like that, you're probably not going to lose the weight. And then there's also just simply deprivation. That you're never full because you're feeling deprived of love from somebody. So and of course, behind all that is the judgment that we carry on ourselves. So, the number doesn't say this on the scale. So what happens when you step on the scale and that number isn't reading what you want it to read? There's a whole dialogue that goes on in your brain, right? And you're so harsh on yourself. You're harsher on yourself because that number isn't such a number, or your pants don't fit. You're harsher than what anybody else would ever be to you.
Wow.
And where is the love and empowerment of yourself in that harsh judgment? And we really try to punish ourselves better, hate ourselves better. And where does that ever work? It doesn't work for kids. Why would it work for us? And that's what's going on in our brain all the time.
Wow.
Yeah. So I try to work with people in healing that inner child and giving themselves that the love that they perceived wasn't there. In some cases it wasn't there, but there's also a perception of I wasn't given this.
Wow.
And parents try to do the best they can, but they can't read a 5-year-old's mind.
Yeah.
We're doing the best we can. And of course, 5-year-olds are in that primitive brain and they can't articulate what they need either.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's perception.
Christine, do you want to comment on that?
There's a number of those that are hitting for me, apparently around parents and food in particular. Yeah, they were kind of brutal, but not leaving the table and you have to finish it. And I still struggle with that.
Wow. And now, how did the two of you connect? Would you mind sharing that with me?
Nancy, let's see, how did we connect? One of our practitioners, Julie, knew Nancy and connected us back in 2018, I guess it is now. And yeah, she came on as an emotional freedom technique practitioner, and I worked with her through her tapping into wealth program, and it transformed the way the center was working and my own finances started to work. And it's amazing how much isn't about money, how much isn't about the actual food, right? Like it goes back to the emotion and the inner child wounds that we've had growing up in our experiences, and clearing those out is tremendously profound.
And getting
And
to
what
that
I love about the EFT is it really clears it out.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
And oh my goodness. And now, so clearly it's the root cause. We're saying we're never get to the root of it. And that's how you both with your services can help people heal. So you're working with children as well, Nancy, up until the age of, or you mentioned 5-year-olds. So I didn't know if you meant.
Well, I don't really work with 5-year-olds, but I work with your 5-year-olds. So the 5-year-old within you.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
To help heal the 5-year-old within you or the 3-year-old. It's your inner child that we want to heal to allow you to come here and be healed and present.
Perfect.
But energy work can work on any age.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really fun actually to work with kids and watch them, because they intuitively get it and can sense energy, and it's just absolutely beautiful to see them take off with it and then start to use it in their own lives.
So you're a Reiki master, right, Christine?
Yes.
And for those that may not know, would you mind just sharing a little bit about the work you do and the modality of Reiki and how that can help?
Yeah, Reiki is amazing. It's a very gentle energy technique. It helps to clear things out, balance your chakras and your energy body, ground you. And it's really like I've taught kids Reiki. It's not difficult to do, but it's simple and it's completely profound, and can move you through physical, emotional, and mental, spiritual healing. And I find when we combine our holistic modalities and come at it from different directions, it's even more exponentially profound in the healings and the quick, like it's pretty fast actually, like compared to like regular traditional counseling. If you put that and energy work together, if you put multiple modalities together, it just moves that person forward so much faster. It's amazing.
Wow. And so you can help people with chronic pain,
Absolutely.
people
Yes.
with what other ailments does Reiki serve a really good purpose for, would you suggest?
Everything.
Like happiness, well-being, anxiety, stress.
Yes. And if you do have a diagnosis and you use energy work, you can help speed through your medical treatments with fewer side effects, less pain, and like tapping, the EFT works as well. And it all works so much better together. And that's why we work this way in an integrated team.
Which most regular practitioners, medical facilities don't. This is an integrative Western plus the Eastern medicine type
Exactly.
of integrative holistic wholeness and health. I mean, and then reading before, I mean, you offer so many different services. So you got the EFT, you got the emotional weight loss coaching. I know Nancy, you mentioned that. Intuitive oracle card readings, intuitive readings, massage therapy. I mean, there's so much to you. So what else did you guys want to discuss next? I don't want to throw you off. I'm not sure what you had planned for us today.
Did you want to show them what tapping looks like, Nancy?
Absolutely. I could actually even take them through a whole cravings session so they can identify with where the
Sure.
cravings are coming from.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to show you the tapping points that I use. And it's basically just tapping on acupressure points in your body to help clear out meridians where these
Mhm,
emotions might be blocked. Okay. So the
mhm.
first one is right where your eyebrow meets the nose. Okay. And then it's right beside your eye. And then under your eye, under your nose, under your chin, on the collarbone, on the thymus,
Mhm.
which is right where your cleavage is.
Yep.
And then about 4 fingers down from your armpit, so kind of on your bra strap, it's usually a tender spot in the top of your head.
Really?
That's,
Okay.
yeah, so I think question mark is kind of a good way to kind of
Yeah.
remember it, right?
Okay. Yep.
So what I ask everybody to do is to pick a very specific food that you crave. So you said potato chips is yours, and it might be different. I'm not sure, but if it's in the house, it's calling your name. You can't avoid it. They're going to be gone. It's also a food that, you know what, I might not hesitate to hop in my car and go to the store just to get that food because it's a strong craving. For some people, it's very specific. Like,
Mhm.
it has to be, I don't know, an ice cream, pralines and cream ice cream from Chapman's. I don't know. I don't even eat this stuff. It's very specific.
Mhm.
Okay. So would chips be your specific food, Joe?
Yes.
And is it just plain chips?
I like regular Lay's, Utz. I don't know if you're familiar with all these. Even the lightly salted ones. Hey, even the Cape Cod now, the salt and vinegar. It's
Okay.
chips in general, but mostly the plain ones. But you see, I'm getting excited. It's
Yeah,
sad.
I
But
can
since I
tell.
was a kid, I just love potato chips.
Okay, this is going to be fun. So what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that you're actually bringing the chips up to your mouth and your nose. You can smell it, and it's like it's so close to going in your mouth. On a scale of 0 to 10, how high is that craving? 10 being like, I'm
10,
going for the
10. I
whole
want it
bag.
the whole bag. I always do the whole bag unless my kids help me. But I
Then that's
swear,
why you don't buy it.
it's a problem I have. I
Okay.
try not to, but when they're on sale 2 for $6, I can't resist it.
Exactly. Okay.
Just being
So
honest.
what I want you to do now is we're going to start tapping through the points, and I'm going to be tapping too, so you can watch me, so you can
So I could,
concentrate. Okay. But what I want you to do is I want you to scoop up all of the feelings that are in those chips. So there's probably love and connection and joy and peace,
crying.
and
There's
whatever
also
else
one
there's
upset.
in there. Just scoop it up and put it into your heart. All of those good feelings. Okay. Now I want you to put a ball of light around those chips and those feelings. Put the chips in there and then put that ball of light around that. Okay. And now what I want you to do is I want you to go back in time to a time that you remember sharing those chips and experiencing those emotions. Is it connected to a person? Is it connected to a TV show? Is it connected to going into your room for privacy? What is it connected to?
My childhood.
Okay.
My mother always put the chips in the cabinet, and me, my brother, my sister, I have memories of us sitting watching TV with a bag of chips, fighting over them, but we always ate them. Mom didn't tell us it was bad for us. She kind of allowed that. And what did I know? But I remember being with my siblings and doing that.
So it was family time watching TV.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're going to start tapping through the points. Okay. what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that you're taking a bite of the chips and then put them back into the ball of light. And then from your heart, I want you to pass this ball of light to your siblings' hearts. Maybe it's one and then back to you and then to another one. Maybe your mom is in that as well. But you're sharing the chips. This was family time. Even if you were fighting over it, it was family time, right? Just keep passing those chips and that ball of light. It's basically that ball of light that we want to pass back and forth from your heart to their heart, your heart to their heart. Include who's ever there. Maybe it's the TV, you're connecting to the TV. It could be that too. You can pass it to the TV and bring that back. And just keep sharing all of those feelings that you've had, the connection, the love, the fun, the freedom, everything that was attached to them. Okay?
Grief in there too.
Yeah, there's so many emotions in there, right? Just keep passing. Are you noticing anything with that ball of light?
It's bringing up some sad times too, to be honest with you, because my family always fought a lot. So I think when my parents were fighting, we were all sitting and just eating to try to kind of block them out.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
So you
getting
got
upset thinking about it. Yeah.
you were able to hide behind the chips. If I crunch loud enough, I don't have to hear my parents fighting,
Yeah.
but I'm still connected to my brother and sister.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still experiencing the same thing. So just keep passing with your brother and sister because this is a connection for you,
Okay.
right? Like you're there for each other
Mm-hmm.
and that you're going through it together. So it's a connection. Okay. And just keep passing it back and forth, back and around. And maybe the light is getting bigger. Maybe the chips are getting smaller. Maybe the chips aren't even in the circle anymore.
Yeah, I
Because
forgot about the chips and thinking about the light ball.
yeah, the chips are gone.
I don't know if
Right?
they're supposed to be, but you're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Okay, so now I want you to stop tapping. Take a deep breath in and blow it out. Bring those chips up to your mouth again. And how high is the craving now on a scale of 0 to 10?
Not much at all right now. Honestly, you brought up some things that I think I never associated my chips with. That made me upset. That made me feel this way right now that I'm thinking more about that. I don't care about the food. I'm not,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
taste as good or smell as good right now because
We,
I'm
we've put all our emotions into the food. So
holy
somewhere along
cow.
that line, our brain just clicked and went, it's the chips that are making me feel this way. It's the chips that are saving,
Wow.
not
Wow.
my brother and sister,
Yeah.
not that connection, right? So yeah, so that's, you'll probably be reaching for chips a lot of the time because you want to feel that connection, especially when we're feeling
Comfort.
lonely and isolated. We're going to reach for those chips, right?
Mhm.
You're not sure what you're not feeling, but you do know that I want to feel that way, even if it's temporary. I want to feel that way. So you're going for the chips.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to cry again. Never thought about that.
That explains a lot for me too, because I had a very similar upbringing, and it was always the three of us, and we were united, and it was usually around food, whatever we could get,
Mhm.
to get away from the parents fighting.
Yeah. We did
Yeah.
whatever it took. And that was it. The chip cabinet.
Yes.
It was fun. It made us happy.
Right. And that's what you're reaching for. You're reaching for the fun and the happiness.
Yeah.
Right. So let's just do a little bit more. And I just want you to repeat after me. Okay.
Thank you.
I didn't realize there was so many emotions in the chips.
I didn't either.
To me, it was just food.
Yeah.
It was just chips. It could have been another food, but it was chips. Maybe I wasn't allowed to feel my emotions at the time. Maybe I didn't understand my emotions at the time. Just going to give myself some grace and honor these emotions because they've been trapped inside of me for a long time. And I wasn't allowed to feel these emotions. There was too much going on in the house. And me having emotions would have made it worse. I'm just going to send love to that little girl and tell her everything's going to be okay. You're going to land on your feet. You're going to have a great life. And it's all because of you. You've worked really hard to get here. And this is your life. Live your best life. Love yourself. Empower yourself. Have grace on yourself. You deserve it. Deep breath in and blow it out.
Thank you.
Did that help bring down the...
Never thought about that root cause of me. Why do I love chips so much? They taste good, yeah, but are they really that good? Is anything really that good? You're right. There's a lot of emotional issues behind it, and running away from my parents who fought all the time. And that was the one thing of unity in the house where it was like, no, you don't show emotion, you don't cry, you can't get upset. It's just be strong and watching TV, and I don't hear anything, and eat, watch TV, and that's it. Became a source of I still
numbing.
to this day at 44, I still do it, not
Mhm.
knowing.
Mhm.
That was your coping mechanism,
Absolutely.
and it served its purpose at the time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
do you need it anymore?
No.
So, Jill, what I like to say to all of my clients is, the weight is, I can do EFT for more than just the weight, but I see that women struggling with weight is a huge thing.
Yep.
So EFT will actually work for anything, like Christine mentioned about tapping into wealth and whatnot, and pain. And what I really want people to, really hone in on is the weight, the money issues, the pain. Is what if this is a gift for me to heal myself and look at it as a gift instead of a hindrance? Like, oh my gosh, I get to work through this.
Mhm.
And my weight is my gift of telling me I need to go and heal that little girl, or
Yep.
that pain, or the money issues is, wow, I get to go heal that little girl once and for all. I don't need to ignore her anymore. I get to go love her and heal that so I can really live in the now.
Wow. So what we just did here is a typical EFT session. If you're virtual with someone, you're
yeah.
actually tapping yourself.
Yeah.
I never knew that. And I've talked to a few people before in my life who've done EFT. No one's ever showed me, explained it. I've never done it. I had no idea. I'm really glad that you and Christine brought this up today and were able to show us and guide us through it, because some people out there, I'm sure didn't know either, or all the benefits of it that can help us.
Mm-hmm. It's powerful stuff.
It's
Wow.
profound.
And the body leads you exactly where you need to go. I have no idea what we're going to deal with when a client comes before me. It's like, okay, let's let your body lead us to where it needs to go.
And
so
Nancy, you're highly intuitive. It's amazing how quickly you can just delve down and hit it right off the bat. It's like, what? I didn't know that was an issue.
We don't. That's why they're called subconscious blockers, right?
Wow. And ladies, I apologize. We're out of time. It's almost 30 minutes. We were able to stay on late because I didn't have another show, which is good. I'm sorry about the craziness in the beginning of this, but there's maybe an intuitiveness to something that was going on by channeling somebody else that wasn't Christine under her name. I believe in energy, and something was going on, ladies, but we had a magical, I think, session today. Really, thank you for enlightening me and our listeners and viewers. Can you tell us how we can reach out to you for more information?
Please go to lavenderlaneptw.ca, go into online booking, and you can click on Nancy Bruce. You can book a free consult with Nancy and try it for yourself. It's
Beautiful.
absolutely amazing. And
Great,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much for today.
Thank you guys so much. Really a pleasure getting to see you all. And thank you for doing what you do. And thank you for your help with me. Boy, oh boy, I'm going home later and I'm going to rid that cabinet of those chips. I don't need them. We'll talk next time. I would love
Well,
to
leave
get
them
an
there for
update on
your
that.
kids.
Yeah. Now I don't want them to get that emotional attachment too, but there's no fighting in my house yet. I live alone with them. So but again, we'll see. You never know. Thank you for reminding me of these things. Really. Thank you, ladies. Have a
Thank
great
You're
day.
welcome. Have a
Thank
great
you.
week.
You too.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.